Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a fun way to support the channel is by leaving a like, by leaving a comment, by leaving 5 comments if you choose to do so, or by subscribing if you are new here. A very big thank you to all the new Patreon members. I keep seeing more and more of you every single day. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says technical analysis. Technical analysis, Bitcoin attempts recovery, why Bitcoin could revisit $60,000. You heard that right. At the moment, the entire, or at least the major crypto coins out there are all moving up in price. I believe that Bitcoin is up by 5.5% and Ethereum is roughly around 6 to 7% as well. No actual reasoning as to why this is happening. Allegedly, the news that we received over the weekend was that apparently there is a new version of 19 floating around, and therefore that is the fear that was instilled into the markets. We received news that it happened to traditional markets first, and then therefore kind of trickled down to our markets as well. A lot of analysts, of course, have come out of the woodworks and to basically explain and say that nothing has happened to our coins and blockchains per se. A lot of times when prices fall, the idea is that something is wrong with our market, something is wrong with the protocol, something is wrong with the blockchain, and as of now, knocking on wood, nothing has really taken place. On top of that, it says Bitcoin appears to still be priced at a discount as Mammoth Whale acquires nearly 1,000 Bitcoin. We had news a couple of days ago that the largest Bitcoin wallet was accumulating tons of Bitcoin, and this wallet has again accumulated nearly 1,000 extra Bitcoin on top of the other Bitcoin that we heard about just a couple of days ago. This is not surprising. This happens every single time. If you are relatively new here, this will be a common trend that you will see. Something happens in the news, prices get shaken, a lot of people begin to sell, and at the same exact time, we end up receiving the news that either one of the largest wallets, an institution, a bank, a country, bought the dip, and therefore, they've been accumulating the entire time because they know or have a rough idea of where the cryptocurrency space is going to go. There's a lot of movement in the news as far as the next steps for the cryptocurrency market. A lot of people have been looking at Plan B's charts since around 2000. I want to say late 2017, early 2018 is when he started really appearing in the news. And up to this point, he has been extremely correct with his charts and showing where prices are going to go. Even now, I haven't looked deep into it, but a lot of people have been saying that his charts were still correct, even though we did not hit $98,000 in a day and a half. Apparently, we are just at the low end of where prices are meant to go for his charts and all that other stuff. On the other side of it, the other discussion begins to arise. Well, what's going to happen to the market? Where are we going to go? How high are we going to go? And how long is this bull market going to last? For those of you not looking at the screen, it says hedge fund manager Anthony Scaramucci compares Bitcoin to Amazon in the year 2000, predicts a strong Q1 for Bitcoin. I saw this and thought this was quite interesting. I'm not sure if Scaramucci is simply just mimicking other people at this point. This is news that I think we may have probably not sure, have gone over at the beginning of November. This is dated the 5th of November. And back then, Raul, so the idea is that the end of November would be a peak. We would dip a tiny bit, and then the end of December would be the almighty end of this current bull cycle. Raul Pal and many other people have been saying for a couple of months now, but I think that they're finally getting more attention in what they've said. And that, for those of you once again not looking at the screen, it says Raul Pal says expect the path of most pain around December. I don't have to read through the entire thing. I'll tell you exactly what it says. He basically said, the last couple of days where prices were really falling hard, his idea is that we would see some type of a major movement down in the cryptocurrency market when people expected it to go up. He said that much of December or a portion of December would also have these like gloomy days. December would begin to pick up, but he thinks that this current bull trend market that we're in is not going to end until anywhere between March or June. His idea being we have not reached his idea that we have not yet reached the peak for Bitcoin, and we have not yet reached the peak for Ethereum, as so many upgrades are expected for these protocols. He basically expects us to continue this run until all the hype has fizzled out from even Ethereum 2.0. And also the idea of Ethereum 2.0 launching is going to bring prices a lot higher. So this is where he's getting that March to June timeframe, which is what we've been told, as when the next iteration of Ethereum 2.0 is going to launch. So as always, we have no choice. Time moves forward and we have to kind of ride along with it. So I think we'll see by June exactly who is the most correct. This does not, if you want an opinion, this does not feel like the end of the bull cycle. As with previous bull cycles, there's a lot of mania and euphoria that really comes with it. And we have not reached that point yet. Once again, when we hit it, you will know. It'll be unmistakable. Every day you will wake up and you will look at your phone and you've made $15,000. It's this really strong, really hard-hitting time where you will even begin to believe, should you even think about cashing out or pulling out of the market, because you're making so many gains, and that's when the greed kind of you understand. On top of that as well, it says Ethereum price analysis, Ethereum resistance at 4350 intact. Will bulls step back in soon? Just a matter of if Bitcoin continues to go up. It just, it really is just that. Everyone is really looking towards Bitcoin. You may love other altcoins, you may love other things, but you and I both know that X random coin is only going to do spectacularly well if Bitcoin ends up going up by 9, 10, 15% per day as well. And also in the news, I only have one tab because it's like, okay. All the Metaverse tokens are really, really pumping. We have received no new news as to what Facebook Meta is planning on doing. There's been some other sprinkles of news as to like Adidas is buying like land in these metaverses, and other companies are talking about getting into it as well. But these coins have been like really hitting it hard. It says Metaverse token Sand rallies by 75% in 1 week to become a top 50 cryptocurrency. Not surprising. A lot of speculation is rampant around this place. We know that a company, if not several companies, are going to make it. We know that the metaverse is definitely going to be a thing that hundreds of millions, if not low billions of people will be doing on a daily basis. The same exact thing as looking at their phones, but it's more of a question mark as to which one is going to really be at the top. I've had this discussion with friends because I know a lot of people here are also into this idea as well. I personally believe it's going to be a decentralized one that is really going to make it, whether it be the Sandbox or Decentraland or third name that's also decentralized. I think Facebook's metaverse is going to do well, but I think it's going to be too polished. Whereas now on Facebook, or many other platforms, you can't really say what you want to say in any sort of way. I mean, it could even just be normal language amongst adults. You can't do that on these platforms. I think the things that are really going to make it are going to be basically a mimic of our world, where you can basically do and say what you want, but it'll be digital. And anyway, I'll stop talking about it. But anyway, that's the price news, I guess, for right now. Optimistic. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. There was a lot of discussions even on Thursday and Friday of last week that there was like an options expiry, and therefore that's what brought down the price of Bitcoin. I'm going to assume it was just random news about 19.5.0. Anyway, that's the price news. And without further ado, let's move on. In something that happened a couple days ago, and it should have been major news, but it was not news anywhere. The Monetary Authority of Singapore has greenlit two new institutional-grade Bitcoin funds associated or issued by leading asset manager Fintonia. The two Bitcoin funds, namely the Fintonia Bitcoin Physical Fund and the Fintonia Secured Yield Fund, would offer long-term exposure to institutional investors in the country. The two new Bitcoin funds aim to cut down on the complexities involved in buying Bitcoin from various exchanges and offering a secure way of investing. I'll get back to that in like 14 and a half seconds because I hate reading that over and over and over. Basically, these are two new funds that are like, they're light ETFs, if you will, but there's never any attention that's paid to any other funds around the world ever that aren't launched within the United States. And it's a very big... The word isn't detriment to our market, but it's more of a, I think if more people really understood that things are really taking place everywhere else around the world, and especially even not taking place within the United States, it would cause more people to get into the market because they would really understand exactly how far-reaching this actually is. So the funds are going to be in physical Bitcoin. They're going to be buying up Bitcoin, actually holding it into the funds. Like I said, should have been super popular news, but it was. I believe this was the only website where I actually found this information. And for those of you wondering why I highlighted this one point, the idea is that when these funds launch, they keep telling people, well, this is a much easier way for you to be able to get into the Bitcoin market. Because if you look at how they market it as well, they say, well, you have to find an exchange that's trusted, how many of them are out there, and then you have to sign up for it, and you have to give your ID, and you have to give your name, and you have to wait to be approved. And then you finally got to go to the page, and you got to enter numbers to actually buy the Bitcoin. Who wants to hold their own Bitcoin? And then you click enter, then it buys, and then the money leaves your account. They go point by point by point, not realizing, I'm sure they do realizing that if you're also buying these funds, you can't just simply like insert your money into a machine and then the Bitcoin comes out. No, it's the same exact thing. You have to find a website. You have to find an institutional fund that is also trusted. You have to go to the website. You have to sign up for it. You have to enter your information. You have to give them your ID. You have to give them your name. Same exact thing. So it's just a way for the institutions to once again create a third party that they're telling that people need to be able to get into the market. But alas, I still believe the smartest ones are going to be the people who actually hold and own their own Bitcoin. But that's something for the year 2050. And yeah, this is the website that was talking about it. It says Fintona launches Bitcoin funds in Singapore. Wasn't spoken about anywhere. Nowhere. An absolute shame because this keeps happening over and over. I think we have 15, 16 Bitcoin funds and or ETF-esque kind of things floating around that are absorbing billions of dollars worth of the market, and no one's talking about it. Anyway, is this also it? Yep. Physical Bitcoin fund approved in Singapore. And let's move on. Now, this is probably one of the best news stories that we've gotten in a long time because it's actual reality being reflected in a news post. This is following up to, for those of you, this is about 2 weeks ago or something like that. There was a news article, no, maybe 3. There's a news article that we were going through, and I got so annoyed because it was just so special. It basically said, for those of you who haven't heard the news, the last 2 years have been quite rough, and millions of people around, not even the world, in the United States have lost their jobs, quit their jobs, what have you, whatever the circumstance might actually be. But there was a survey that was going around, and people were like, oh my gosh, did you see the survey? I believe they spoke to like 3,000 people. Keeping in context, I believe there are 350 million people in the United States. They spoke to 2,000 or 3,000 people, and from those 3,000 people, for some reason, they got the idea that 4 million people who quit their jobs all for some reason quit because they had enough money in cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin made them rich. And I was like, where are you getting those numbers from? And it was like 97% of respondents believe that 5,700 people also have enough. And I was like, what people do you know have this much cryptocurrency? I don't think I know anyone who has like retired yet from cryptocurrency. And even more so, like I know people who know of Bitcoin, but definitely, I mean, I've been telling anyway. The point is, a recent study suggests that 99% of people from Mexico and Brazil and 96% of Americans fail to grasp the basic concepts of cryptocurrencies. 96% sounds a lot more accurate. Out of all the survey respondents aware of Bitcoin, 17% in the US, 15% in Brazil, and 14% in Mexico actually own the crypto asset. This is also a little bit more accurate. 17% out of people in America. Even that seems a little high. I would even say it's somewhere around like 10, maybe 11%. And then you get more into the actual discussion of these people also don't own an entire Bitcoin. It's like then fragments of actual Bitcoin. But a lot of times this news is put out there like, well, these people own Bitcoin, so therefore they're multi-millionaires. And it's like, it's so much extra hype when there just needs to be actual, if we can get to actual like realistic numbers, we can start to then say, hey, this is what's actually taking place in the world. The report published by the website Crypto Literacy further explains that 9 out of 10 survey respondents did not know that Bitcoin supply is capped at 21 million. Hyper realistic. Super mega realistic, dare I even say. I have so many conversations with my friends, not trying to get them into the market, but just, letting them be aware of things that are taking place. A lot of them have no idea what's going on. They've heard of these things. One of them, what does she call it? She called NFTs, like an ABC or something. I forgot what she said. She was like, oh, I saw ABC art. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there just to give you a bit more reality of what's actually going on. There were not 4 million people who left their jobs in the U.S. because they were like, oh, I'm rich, let's do this. It's because of other things. And, anyway, I think this is a perfect picture for that as well. Absolutely perfect. Alrighty, let's move on. Also in the news, it says one of the largest banks in Estonia, LHV, is now offering cryptocurrency trading directly from its app through crypto exchange Bitstamp. The bank says it is the first bank in the Baltics to offer cryptocurrency trading. LHV announced this week that it has become the first bank in Estonia to offer its clients the crypto opportunity to trade crypto assets. Starting on Monday, customers can trade major crypto assets directly on its mobile app. Transactions are carried out through Bitstamp. And this scroll on down here, they're now offering Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, Uniswap, Chainlink, Lumens, Polygon, and Aave. Those are very specific coins. I would love to see some internal documents and some internal discussions as to how they chose those coins, because a couple of these are definitely, I call them corporate coins. I believe that there are coins that were created 2, 3, 4 years ago that popped out of nowhere, that were added immediately to Coinbase before anyone even knew about them. I think they were made behind the scenes and are very specific coins that they've added, especially when you look at the other coins that are actually in the market. So I usually assume that they were buying these up for years and then announced, hey, these are the ones to get into. So also, should have been larger news. I know a lot of people don't live in Estonia, but every single time that a bank bends the knee, if you will, to say, hey, cryptocurrencies are here to stay, we have to begin to offer them, or else people will go other places, is basically a win for us. Anyway, that's the Estonian bank offering cryptocurrency news, and let's move on. Also, unsurprisingly in the news, because this is the 4th time that this has happened, Nayib Bukele, president of El Salvador, recently announced that his country, or him, I don't know who does it, has purchased another 100 BTC, worth around $5.4 million. As always, like me, the CEO of El Salvador, geez Louise, casually announced the purchase in a tweet on Friday. Despite Bitcoin's bearish slump, it's not bearish at all, it's just life. The president has not second-guessed his investment. Instead, he took it as a chance to stack sats. That is not correct. For those of you who need clarification right now, stacking sats, geez Louise, means if you cannot buy an entire Bitcoin, you buy Satoshis. He did not stack sats. He bought entire Bitcoin. I wonder about this space sometimes. Like, I really just wonder what's going on. It says El Salvador just bought the dip, 100 extra coins acquired with a discount. Last month, they bought 420 Bitcoin. They now hold over 1,000. I think even before the 420, I think they bought 50, and then before that they bought 100. Every time the market drops, we get El Salvador news. There was also some other, oh gosh, what was it? I think the governor of the Bank of England, I believe that's the person, says that he has a problem with El Salvador owning Bitcoin or buying Bitcoin or having it as legal tender. And I guess maybe they forgot it's not the year 1600 anymore and that the UK doesn't control the world. Because I sat there and I was like, are we supposed to care? Like, what influence do you have on the cryptocurrency market? Like, why? People are ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure that same exact person has been like talking negatively about the cryptocurrency market for a while. Like, just sit down in a chair somewhere. It's so weird. Like what did you think that by saying that oh my gosh, like I have to sell off my coins now? The governor of the Bank of England said that he doesn't like us. Like, what are you expecting from that? Like, it only empowers them even more. And what I actually truly believe that it is, hear me out. If we have had news over the last 3 years that there are a number of other countries who are allegedly interested in getting into the market, I'm sure that the IMF and the Bank of Everything has been getting so much news from other countries who are really looking into like actually adopting Bitcoin as well. And I think it's kind of rattling fiat markets, if you will, because I don't think El Salvador is the only country who wants to get into Bitcoin. I assume that there are at least, I want to say 7 to 10 out of 190 countries. It's at least 7 to 10 who are definitely. Anyway, so yeah, they bought the dip. That's crazy. Never happened before. Happens every single time. I'm just interested to see exactly how rich this country is going to become, because I don't think they're gonna not be rich. Yeah, that works. Don't think that they're, yeah, double negative. That worked. Anyway, that's the El Salvador news. What's this one? Oh yeah, so this is basically all the news. Everything we've just gone over. And then after that, it gets a little like floppy, flimsy in terms of like, there's a lot of news also floating around the last couple of days that we've seen about India. And allegedly, apparently, this weekly, they're supposed to finally give legislation on crypto, what have you. The breaking news right now, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says there is no proposal to recognize Bitcoin as a currency. You don't have to read through the entire thing. Basically, what happened is they were asked during a panel discussion meeting. I don't know what was going on. And the financial ministers basically said no, they have no, intent to have Bitcoin be a legal currency within the country. However, this has led to speculation that they're simply going to allow it as an asset. And basically one that if you plan on selling or buying it, you basically have to register as if you were buying a house. That's kind of the idea. It seems more on point as to what they would do. I don't expect at any point that India is going to allow their garbage currency to be pushed out of the way by something that they themselves don't control. But we'll see what ends up happening. So allegedly, this week, we're supposed to get proper cryptocurrency regulation, or we will have what it's going to be, and then eventually it will be written into law. But even then, I don't think so. This has happened 4 or 5 years now. I assume this will either not be spoken about, or it will be spoken about and they'll say, give us more time. That's just the way that it keeps going. Because I believe they're actively trying to manipulate the market. But no one really cares anymore. Just give the rules, because the rest of the world doesn't care. On top of that, Rarible has launched a messaging application. It says 7th largest NFT platform, Rarible, has launched a messaging application. Cool. A lot of people were quite excited about this. Apparently, you'll be able to contact creators directly on the platform, which I think is kind of cool. But outside of that, we're not going to be texting back and forth like friends. So I don't know what the point of the messaging application is. They also just integrated with Flow, and I think low fee something or other. So that's also fantastic. And also in the news, as something that I think we're supposed to care about, but no one actually cares about. It says Indian crypto exchange coin DCX plans to go public as soon as the government allows it. They're going to be waiting for a very long time. If India actually gives cryptocurrency regulations this week, it takes very few things can actually shock me. I've been desensitized from the entirety of the world just by living. This is one of the very few things. Them and the United States, I don't think actually ever really plan on giving proper crypto regulations until they're forced to. Like when Bitcoin is really at the point where it's about to take over the US dollar, I think it'll then be acknowledged that it exists, and then they'll go, all right, fine, we have to give some kind of regulation. But I think at that point, it'll definitely, everything is too late. Anyway, the point is, so cool. I think the news is meant to be surprising or jubilant, something, happy, because they're thinking of going public. I'm sure they're not the only crypto exchange or crypto company in the country who wants to go public, but you gotta get it together first. Anyway, that's the sure, why not? Keep hope alive news. And let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, and let's move on. Chris, Hakeem, Wilkins, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fudd, Wiser, Mortified, Roman, Gaba, Bitcoin, Ben, Arachno, Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plump, Tomato, Umnu, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way, Lay Crypto, Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy 655, and Carlos Was Like, Mo Barazi, Jojo Shaw Show, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolay, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Bare Bones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Paternoster, Conan, Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolek Banana, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Stoyer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Ebibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moha Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangi Alavori, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day. Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monks, Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. I stopped myself from laughing at Bodie McBoatface, and I'm quite proud of myself. Thank you all very, 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 very much for your continued support. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel who clicked the little join button below. Thank you to everyone who left a like, a comment, comments, has subscribed, or is still here listening to me ramble on about this wacky cryptocurrency market. At the moment, Bitcoin is at 57,000. Wow, that was a microphone. $57,257. It is up by 5%. Ethereum is at 4,334. It is up by 6.7%. Binance Coin is up by 4%. Cardano is up by 6%. Polkadot is up by 7 as well. Luna is up by 6. Anything crazy? Mana is up by 9. The Decentraland token. Polygon is up by 7. Lumens is up by 5. VeChain Thor is up by 6%. The Sandbox is up by 20%. Jeez Louise. Anything else crazy? Gala is up by 17%. Monero is up by 5. Yep. Where's... Oh, that's a shame. I was like, where's IOTA? It's number 50. Okay. Hanging in there. 60. Oh, geez, Louise. Only $64 million worth of trading volume, but it's still, it's trying its darndest. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. Let's hope that we have a good price week. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.